Hi, it's Caitlin and I'm here with my October polish pickup swatch video, which is all about grunge. I should have put on a flannel for this video, but I'm not that kind of girl, so here I am. Though I do wear Doc Martens almost exclusively, so I don't know what that says about me. I kind of missed the whole grunge thing, except the little parts of it that have come back in like the 2000s. So that's enough about me. Let's talk about the polishes. The polish pickup shop will be opening on October 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will include those specifics down in the description. Everything you see here will be available exclusively through the polish pickup for the time that the October shop is open. So if you see it and like it, buy it while you can. These nail polishes are really pretty. I'm excited to show them off, and you probably know the drill. So let's get into the swatches. First up, we have Clionadh Cosmetics, and their polish is called Helix. This one is inspired by the increased popularity of body piercings in the 1990s, and this is a sheer green leaning taupe base with larger particle size red to gold to green shimmer and hollow flakes. And this one is really interesting. It's a really unique color in my opinion, and it has a fantastic formula. As you can see, it is very, very sparkly, and it definitely has a grungy vibe to it. This one had really good coverage in 2 coats, but depending on your application, you might want 3. I thought I would show 3 just to be on the safe side. But the shimmer in here, like I said, is a larger size particle, so it adds an extra sparkle to the polish. And when you do add that 3rd coat, it also deepens the base color, which is a really murky, greeny, taupey shade. This one does dry down a bit dull, so I will recommend glossy top coat, but you know, it doesn't have any texture or anything from the hollow flakes because they're flakes, not glitters. And I was able to capture this one out in the sun where it looks absolutely fantastic. It is very, very shifty with that shimmer as well. And I just do genuinely love hollow flakes, so I always love seeing them in a polish. It just works beautifully in this base. They're not like obvious, so they don't stand out in a bad way. They're just really well integrated into the polish. So if you have a helix piercing, let me know in the comments. I think that's, I don't know, there's like different ones, like a forward helix. I think my sister has that. I only have my ears pierced. I can't do piercings. I don't deal well with the pain. Next up, we have Sassy Sauce Beautiful Freakin' Disaster. And this one is a smoky charcoal with a golden pink shimmer when cold. And when it's warmed up, the darkness fades away to a whimsical glowy shimmer and reveals hot pink matte glitters. And this description says you can't have a 90s polish without glitter, right? So this one was inspired by a flannel out of Carrie's closet, and this one is very, very fun. It has a fantastic formula. The thermal effect, which you'll see soon, is very pretty, and I love hot pink glitter, so I'm always happy to see that in a polish. The Sassy Sauce formula is always really nice and easy to work with, and it's always fun to see what Carrie creates. So I was happy with the coverage I got in 2 coats. The matte pink glitters will add some texture to your polish, but honestly not enough that you would need a glitter grabber. One layer of glossy top coat will do the trick. And as you can see, this one looks so good in the warm state. I much prefer it in the warm state. So hopefully you have hot hands if you like it in the warm state too. And I tried to capture both of the states on my fingers, but it's hard when you have short nails with a thermal. But you can see how shifty the shimmer is. At extreme angles you get kind of a gold green brown, which is really interesting. So I thought this was a very entertaining polish. It's definitely unique in my collection, and it is well executed in my opinion. Next up we have Red Eyed Lacquer Plaid is In, and this one is inspired by 90s grunge fashion. This one is a absolutely gorgeous, squishy purple jelly base, and it is filled with tiny matte black flakes, and then you've got tiny iridescent color shifting shimmers that are so perfect. I love the formula on this polish. It is definitely sheer, but it builds up really nicely and contributes to a very squishy overall effect. And what I love about Red Eyed Lacquer's polishes like this, the one last month was similar in its sort of constitution with the flakes and the iridescent flakes. I love how the density of the flakes is, like, it's not too dense. It's a good amount in my opinion, and you can see the base color through the polish. You can see how squishy it is, and once it builds up in 3 coats, I love the shade of purple that you get. This one does dry down dull with a tiny bit of texture, but this polish will not be difficult to remove, and 1 layer of top coat will smooth everything out. And I am using the Cuticula Limitless top coat here. This one is so pretty. I love the shift in the iridescent flakes. I love the base color shade of purple. It's like so pretty. It's a beautiful tone of purple, and it's just so cute and squishy. I'm a huge fan. I love the green shift to those flakes at extreme angles. And I don't know what more I can say. I just really, really love this polish. And if you like purples, I highly encourage you to pick it up. And Red Eyed Lacquer also is bringing their Da Bomber, and this one is called Moving to the Country to Pick Lots of Apples. This is inspired by the scents from the 90s Bath and Body Works store era. This polish, or not, it's not polish, it's a balm which has a ton of beautiful ingredients in it. It's definitely not squishy, like it's more like almost like an oil compound. I don't know how to describe it, but hopefully you can see what I mean in the video. And you want to work it into your skin or any dry areas, including your cuticles. This does have jojoba oil, which is great for your nails, and it's not too greasy once you rub it in, so I love it a ton. Next up we have Kathleen & Co. This one's called Release, and they went with one of Mia's favorite bands from the grunge era, which is Pearl Jam. And this one's called Release, and it is a purple multi-chrome with a red magnetic stripe. So this polish has a really good formula. It is on the sheer side, but it builds up easily. And I recommend applying the magnet after you apply each coat. Hold it over the nail for as long as you can, ideally 30 to 60 seconds. And I love the colors in here. The magenta, purple, red combo is just really beautiful. And You're going to see shortly the beautiful shift you get in this polish when you move your fingers around. But if you're a purple lover or pink lover, honestly, this has a lot of different color shifts. This polish is really beautiful, and what I like about the magnetic effect in this one, it's not overly obvious, like it's not an extreme difference in the base and shimmer, so it just creates this beautiful depth to the polish that's just really fun and beautiful. So I did 3 coats, and then you will want top coat. I recommend holding the magnet over the polish after you apply top coat, just to keep that line as visible as possible. Otherwise it will disperse almost completely. So definitely apply the magnet after you apply top coat. And hopefully you can already see how beautiful this polish is. I've already said it before, love the combination of colors, love how bright it is, and it's just a really unique combination of colors in a magnetic polish. I haven't seen this before, and I think it works really well. It's really beautiful. Like I said, a bit subtle, but absolutely stunning. And it is very sparkly with the shimmer pigment, even though there's no hollow or glitter. It's definitely sparkly in the sun. Moving along, we have Polished for Days Poser, and this one is a slightly blackened green base with green to blue to purple shifting iridescent shimmer and hollow flakes. Jenna says that as a mid-90s baby, she wasn't old enough to truly experience the grunge era of the 90s. So while trying to come up with a polish for this theme, she felt like a poser and thought the name Poser was fitting for this polish. So this polish, despite her struggling to find inspiration for the theme, is absolutely gorgeous and really, really fun. I love the shade of green, and the name is also kind of fun. So again, the shimmer in this is very sparkly, plus it's got the hollow flakes. So it's just a really gorgeous polish, as you're going to see when I get outside in the sun. If you like greens, this polish will and should be going home with you. It's fantastic. It has a bit of a blue look to it at more extreme angles, but overall it's very clearly a green polish. It is really, really pretty. I wanted to show this off in as many different lighting situations as I could because I actually really liked it, and I don't tend to love greens, but this one, I think it's because that blue shift happens, made me love it. It has a very strong glow to it out of direct lighting, as you can see here. It's honestly very beautiful and very unique. Moving along, we have Rogue Lacquer Urban Decay. This one is inspired by the iconic 1990s Urban Decay nail polishes, and if anyone is into collecting vintage nail polishes, you'll probably know that the 1990s Urban Decay nail polishes are very hard to find and sought after. So this polish is a tribute to those. It's a brown tone purple with purple, magenta, and orange flakes, as well as a subtle flash of gold glass flakes that are sure to bring you back in time to your gloomy grunge youth. So this polish is absolutely packed with flakes. I recommend applying this in as thin coats as possible and building it up so you don't get chunks of flakes causing a traffic jam on your nails. So I think 3 coats is probably what most people will need. You could also layer it over a black if you wanted, or a deep brown. But this one is very grungy. It's giving a very grunge vibe, and I can see the Urban Decay inspiration. I know that brand launched in the mid-90s, I think, and it was probably one of the first high-end brands of makeup that I wanted as a kid. I think they had some sort of, I think it was called Honey. It was like a shimmery body powder with glitter in it, and I think my mom bought it for me, even though I had no business as like an 8 or something year old wearing glittery body powder. It did smell really good, and maybe it also tasted like honey. That's probably why I liked it. Anyway, this polish is beautiful. Build it up in 3 coats, apply a good glossy top coat to get rid of the texture from the flakes, but it is a really cool polish, and I love how rich and grungy the colors are on your nails. It's really, truly beautiful. Next up, we have Cuticula Beautiful Garbage, and they were inspired by the band Garbage. And this polish is a dusty rose base filled with shifty little flakes that change color from pink to red to orange at extreme angles. And this one is very classy. I really like the shade of sort of dusty rose. I think it's almost like a mauve, or mauve, I guess, if you're American. I don't really know the rules on that pronunciation. I pronounce it mauve. Who knows? Anyway, no judgment. And this polish is opaque in 2 coats for me. It totally covered in 2 coats, and it does dry down dull, as you can see. Definitely use glossy top coat like Cuticula Limitless top coat to bring back the shine. And this one is really pretty and unique. I don't have anything at all like it in my collection, and I think Amanda did a great job with it. So here you can see the shift in the flakes. You're getting that orange at the more extreme angles. It's like slightly teetering into a green shift, and I feel like this could maybe be a work appropriate shade depending on how much you want to push the boundaries. It's a really pretty color. Next up, we have Lollipop Posse Lacquer Find Another Way, and this one is inspired by the music video for Blind Melon's song called Change. The opening lyrics are, "I don't feel the sun's coming out today, it's staying in, it's gonna find another way." And this one is a clear base in like a really, really pretty unique color base, which is accented with finely milled gold shimmer, gold to red shifting aurora shimmer, and gold holographic micro glitter. So this one is super shifty, and it builds to a metallic gold finish. It has a fantastic formula. I love this one. I liked it in 2 coats. You might need 3 depending on your application style, but I was happy with it in 2, and it does have a bit of texture because of the fine glitter. So definitely use a good glossy top coat, but you can just see how sparkly and hollow those glitters are. I am obsessed with this one. I was a little nervous about the color in the bottle, but was pleasantly surprised when I put it on my nails. This one is so unique and so sparkly. It honestly is a really beautiful polish, and I saw a still from the music video that was the inspiration, and Karen
1,000,000% nailed it. So good job on creating a beautiful polish as well as absolutely nailing the inspiration. Here we have Paint It Pretty Polish Despite All My Rage, which is inspired by the Smashing Pumpkins. The rest of that song lyric is I'm still just a rat in a cage, which every time I hear it just makes me laugh. I don't know why. Maybe I can relate to it. And this one is a clear-based flaky balm with iridescent flakes, ultra chrome chameleon flakes, black flakes, and a small sprinkling of holographic flakes. And this one is really pretty with all the colors in there. You could probably use this as a topper. As you can see on the first coat, it was very even, but still, you know, would allow a base color to show through. If you want to build it up, you definitely can. I'm going to show it built up in 3, but if you wanted a opaque look, you probably would need to layer this over a black or layer it over a deep burgundy, but you know, choose your own adventure. As you can see here in 3 coats, it's like 99% opaque, and there's so much going on in the polish that you really can't see the tiny little gaps that are between the flakes on my nails. So I opted to make this one matte. I used the Cuticula Cloud Cover Matte Top Coat, and as the matte's drying, you can see here how it would look glossy, which is very beautiful. I love the colors in this one. And here with the matte top coat, I just thought it showed off the color shifts better. And you can see that beautiful green at extreme angles. This looks like a pile of leaves. It's very autumnal and again, very sparkly. Sadly, the sun was not out, but you could see it under my swatch lights just how sparkly this one is. And last but not least, we have Glisten and Glow Nirvana Unplugged in New York, which is a deep berry red jelly filled with color shifting larger particle shimmer that shift from red to orange to yellow and green. And it's inspired by the colors on the album artwork for MTV's Nirvana Unplugged in New York. And Jill said that this was inspired by 1993 when Nirvana's frontman Kurt Cobain recorded MTV's Nirvana Unplugged in New York. It was released almost a year later in November 1994 and debuted at number 1. It was the highest first week sales of Nirvana's career, but sadly, before the release, Kurt Cobain died, and Jill is just saying that she still mourns his passing and is grateful to have this album and the other albums that Nirvana created to keep his memory alive. And this is a beautiful tribute. I'm also using the Glisten and Glow top coat, which is available this month. It is glossy as heck. It looks so good over polishes. It does give a very nice gel-like effect. And it's very, very quick drying. It's one of my favorite top coats, so it's only $8. You can pick it up. And this polish, like I said, is a beautiful tribute to Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. And it's very grungy. I love the color of this polish. I love the shifts that you get. It's truly stunning, and I think Jill did a fantastic job with it.
All right, so I guess I thought that I would be more into this theme than I was, but if I had to pick my favorite, the standout among all the polishes that I showed off to you is the Red Eyed Lacquer Polish. I love it. I love how Bianca creates those jelly bases with those iridescent flakes, the black flakes. It's like the perfect amount of everything. And I really love that shade of purple. I also can't stop sniffing the De Balmer that's available this month. The scent is apples, but I'm detecting like vanilla or maybe cashmere or something, because it's not that typical apple smell that is kind of gross and sickly in my opinion. It's really, really nice. So let me know in the comments what you're planning on picking up in October. I did see a polish by Jen and Berries, which is actually inspired by Doc Martens and looks like my favorite kind of oxblood shade. So I might have to pick that one up. I'd love to hear what you're planning on picking up. And yeah, I guess that's it for me. So hopefully I will see you in my next video. Rock on and have a great day. Bye.